Oh, okay. Oh, good one. There you go. Next one will be seven.
Yeah, but whatever one they grab is what we're gonna.
Yeah.
All right, the time is 6:30. We'll start the public comment period. Views expressed by individuals during the public comment period do not necessarily reflect the views of city council and have not been verified for accuracy by the city. As a reminder, the city council and staff are not permitted to respond to comments or questions during the public comment period in accordance with Fremont Municipal Code, Section 2-103. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person and shall not contain topics included in this evening's agenda. And you can sign in up here if you want to speak. No, okay.
Mr. Mayor, our first speaker is Jean Chapelier.
Gene Chapler, 1940 North Broad Street. I'm here tonight to talk about Broad Street all again. Just a couple things. I think last meeting it was mentioned that Highway 77 was here before Broad Street. Broad Street was actually here first. And it wasn't until 1926 when what's it called, the U.S. numbered highway systems was established. And after that, that's when Broad Street was here. Homes already existed on Broad Street before that designation. And back then, having a highway go through a city wasn't really a big thing. You didn't have a lot of traffic, and that's there was not a lot of truck traffic either. But there is a reason why we spent $62 million to create a south bypass, and that was because of all the traffic that is now coming through Fremont. We're not against truck traffic. We know it fuels our economy, but we are against Broad Street being used as a high-speed bypass for going around the Fremont. What we need is a traffic calming plan. Right now, it's just too easy to fly through Fremont. And what we're doing is we're asking businesses, local businesses here, to respect our neighborhood as well. From Military to Broad Street is roughly a mile. If they were to slow down, it might add 60 seconds roughly to their trip. When I leave in the morning, I'm usually greeted with one or two trucks from a local business here that are flying down Broad Street, and one of them has extremely loud pipes. And it's woke my wife up before when I've opened the door to walk out. We're asking the businesses, local businesses, to, it's a two-way street. We're asking, we're saying it's okay to have trucks pass through, but we're asking them to respect us as a neighborhood. They, slow down, reduce noise. And even if that, one truck is loud, maybe have that one go around. It's just being respectful of both sides. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, our next speaker is Don Atwell.
Thank you for this opportunity to express our concerns here today. I'm Don Atwell. I live at 1650 North Broad. We've lived there, my wife and I, for over 45 years. Last evening, 3/30/26, I, along with several other neighbors, attended a public meeting of the Safe Streets USA initiative. It was very informative, and those hosting it were professional, helpful, and eager to discuss issues pertaining to the streets of Fremont. The plan for the future of Broad Street they presented should be beneficial in an effort to make it a safer street. I questioned them on getting updated information to mapping apps such as Google Maps and so on, and they informed me that a city official needs to make that contact to request the changes. This begs the question, are we working on this? Is this being done? Is anybody working on it? If not, why not? Okay. Is someone stonewalling the process? If so, who and why? City officials are stewards of our local tax dollars. And I'm asking, is it good stewardship to ask the citizens of Fremont to foot the bill for what is, all intents and purposes, a state highway? At both the north and south end of Broad Street, there's a sign posted expressing a 15-ton weight limit. I don't know, maybe that information should be passed on to the mapping applications as well. That might make a difference. That's 30,000 pounds for those of us that are math challenged. I like to think that some reasoning and logic went into that decision to post a 30,000 pound weight limit, such as construction and makeup of the roadway, maybe. I don't know. The average 18-wheel tractor trailer weighs 30,000 to 35,000 pounds empty. That means that virtually every tractor trailer that travels on this street is over the posted weight limit. A livestock truck fully loaded with hogs for slaughter can weigh upwards of 80,000 pounds, almost 2.5 times the posted weight limit. Broads, how can we expect a roadway to weather hundreds of overweight trucks daily? I don't think that's an exaggeration. Some of my neighbors have counted trucks, and I think they would say that's probably a conservative estimate. While we deliberate the surface of Broad Street and the $2 million invested in resurfacing it, it is crumbling. It and the surface is crumbling, and the $62 million that taxpayers invested in the South Beltway might just as well have been invested in California's high-speed rail, as far as I'm concerned. Not to mention the over $2.5 million investment needed for the North Broad Street Viaduct Rehabilitation Project. Thank you.
If anyone wants to speak, you can sign in up there. Let him. We can. We don't have a flag. You got one you can make up real quick. All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Time is 7 o'clock. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Opens Meeting Act is posted on the back of the wall to the agendas, and complete copy of the agenda and backup is available on the table in the center of the room. I'll take roll call.
Seven members are present, one absent.
Thank you. Mayor's comments tonight. We've got the Bergen basketball team here. So I have a proclamation for you guys. From the Office of Mayor Proclamation, whereas the fortitude, determination, talent, and outstanding teamwork of the 2026 Archbishop Bergen boys basketball team has enabled these student athletes to earn Nebraska High School Class C2 State Basketball Championship. And whereas winning the 2026 Class C2 State Basketball Championship on basketball game on March 14, 2026, brought community pride and honor to the Fremont Archbishop Bergen and the city of Fremont, Nebraska. And whereas Archbishop Bergen's head coach Ryan Menarek and entire coaching staff, team members, parents, faculty, and student body at the Archbishop Bergen High School integral in guiding the Knights to victory through their steadfast support. Now, therefore, I, Dev Sukram, the mayor of the city of Fremont, Nebraska, do hereby recognize and congratulate the Fremont Archbishop boys basketball team for their tremendous achievement in winning the 2026 Class of C2 State Championship. Let's give them congratulations.
What's the tall ones at the back? They probably get. What are yours? Items on the agenda tonight. Right?
Everyone's got their face up to the window. Everyone's got their face up to the window. All right, I also got some service awards tonight. Blake Wagner, 10 years of service. Blake was hired in 2016 as a firefighter EMT. In 2022, he was promoted to lieutenant EMT. You here? Yeah, you're still. We also have Richard Kruger, 10 years of service. He's not attending tonight. Richard was hired in 2016 as a power plant operator. In 2025, he was promoted to power plant lead operator. Dame Moeller, 5 years of service. He's also not attending. Dame was hired in 2021 as an officer associate at the police department. That's all I have. Item 1, motion to adopt the agenda for March 31st, 2026 regular city council meeting. Report from staff. Councilman Horner,
I'll make the motion to adopt the agenda for the March 1st or 31st, 2026 regular city council meeting.
Councilman Jensen,
I'll make the second to, make the second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
okay, item 2, appointments, resolution 2025-062 or 68, accepting the approval of the reappointment by the mayor of members of the Port Authority Board Commissions whose terms expire in April of 2026. Staff?
Mr. Mayor, Jody Sanders, City Administrator. The Port Authority Board of Commissioners was established by this council, I believe back in 2022. And so when it was established, the terms of office were staggered so that we would get rotating commissioners as opposed to everybody there and then poof, everybody's gone. And so we have two commissioners whose terms are expiring. So we visited with them and they're willing to serve another 4-year term.
And that's Christy Fiala and Jennifer Grunke.
Yes, thank you.
I'll take any comments from staff or from council or a motion. Councilman Vaughn,
Motion to approve.
Councilman Horner,
I'll second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
okay, item 3, motion consent to the mayor's appointment of Jasmine Laduna to the Business Improvement District 1.
This appointment fills the unexpired term of Sam Heineman, and she comes with a kind of the nomination of the BID board chair, Tom Cody. She is the branch manager for the downtown RVR Bank location.
Thank you. Any comments from council? Otherwise, I'll take a motion. Councilwoman Ganem,
So moved.
Councilman Jensen,
And I second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
thank you. Item number 4, motion consent to the mayor's reappointment of Lisa Leonard to the Dangerous Animal Appeals Commission.
Animal Appeals Commission has expired or coming up on expiring. And so she's been asked to continue to serve on that commission.
Thank you. Any comments, or I'll take a motion from council? Councilman Horner,
I'll make that motion to reappoint Lisa Leonard to the Dangerous Animal Appeals Commission.
Councilwoman Ganem,
I second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
Item number 5, motion consent mayor's appointment of Dan Withun and reappointment of Mark Coulter, Juan Garcia, and Clayton Temperley, and remove Scott Brown to the Building Code Advisory Appeals Board. Staff?
Mr. Mayor, this is a board that doesn't meet often. However, when it does, it's an important board in that it helps if we have someone that's been, for example, just, and this is just by way of example, if we have contractors that have been working without permits and that kind of thing repeatedly, obviously more than once, I believe it's 3 times if they're caught without having pulled a permit for jobs that they're working on, they have their license with the city revoked for 6 months. And at the end of that 6 months, assuming that they have come forward and gotten all of the work that they've done without permits permitted and inspected, then they come before this board and can reobtain their license. But without this board, there's no mechanism for them to become relicensed.
Thank you. Comments or a motion from council? Councilwoman Lathrop?
I make the motion to consent to your appointment of Dan Withun and reappointment of Mark Coulter, Juan Garcia, and Clayton Temperley, and to remove Scott Brown to the Building Code Advisory and Appeals Board.
Councilman Marsh?
Second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
Okay, we'll go to public hearings. Item number 6, resolution 2026-067, making a recommendation for a Class C liquor license application of Debbie Fortner, new owner of the Dugout Bar at 239 East 6th. Staff report.
Thank you, Mayor. Michael Chatterson, City Clerk. This is the recommendation for the Class C liquor license for the Dugout Bar at 239 East 6th Street. They underwent new ownership, so this is the license for the potential approval for the new owner who is stepping in there. I did make a note in my staff report, and I'll just mention it as well. The public hearing today is actually the 46th day technically, just due to some absences. And with us having kind of the five Tuesday month, we weren't able to get the public hearing notice in for the March 10th meeting. So unfortunately, we are holding the public hearing on the 46th day. I did reach out to the Liquor Control Commission, who advised we can just make no recommendation. They said the only issue would be really if there were any public protests against the license, which I haven't gotten any. I'd be shocked if there were any personally. So what we should do tonight is make no recommendation on the application, and then the Liquor Control Commission will ultimately, as they do with all liquor licenses, will make the final decision. But barring any, like I said, barring any protests, there shouldn't be any issue with this going forward. So I can take any questions.
Councilman Horner?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm not trying to challenge that decision, and I'm fine with it, but I am just curious. Our job is really just to recommend. It's the state liquor board's job to catch any inconsistencies. So why couldn't we still recommend this tonight just because it's one day out? That's not our issue, is it?
I think it's more an issue with the state law, so to speak. The state law says we have 45 days. I mean, ultimately, we can local control to an extent. We can make any recommendation we wish. I'm just going off what the Liquor Control Commission, being they are the experts, recommended. Ultimately, it's up to council if they want to make the recommendation of approval. But yes, you're correct. The Liquor Control Commission does have final approval. Our decision making would really be, for instance, if if there were a lot of issues with the previous owner or something like that, then the council could maybe say, we recommend a denial, or we make no recommendation or something along those lines. So ultimately, yes, it's up to the state. I think the issue is more with it being outside of the time frame. So again, ultimately, council's decision.
Councilman Vaughn?
Kind of sounds like we had some culpability in making this one day late. And I guess my question is maybe for legal. Can we recommend, and is there any negative repercussions to the applicant, which we certainly wouldn't want to do, or any liability on our end
There wouldn't be liability for the city, but the issue is making a recommendation one way or the other. If it's challenged, then whoever is the challenger would say the city's recommendation is invalid because it was after the 45-day mark for staff. So it shouldn't have any sway on the liquor commission's decision. That's never going to happen, but that would be why I'm thinking they recommended to just give no recommendation. They're thinking the next step.
Anything else from council? I can open a public hearing on this. Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. I'll take a motion. Councilman Horner.
I would make the motion on resolution 2026-067 to withhold our recommendation due to the fact that it is one day outside of the window.
Councilman Marsh.
I'll second.
That motion carries 6 yeas, 1 nay, Mayor.
Item number 7, motion to authorize the mayor to sign the Form 50G for the dugout bar for satellite Keno operations. Staff?
Thank you, Mayor. Michael Chatterson, City Clerk. Very similar item. This is for the change in ownership there at the dugout bar again. This is for their satellite Keno operations. This doesn't have a certain time frame, so we're certainly fine to just authorize the mayor to sign the Form 50G, which is authorizes change in ownership for those the satellite Keno operations in the dugout bar. I can take any questions.
Any comments from council? Open up the public hearing on this. Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and take a motion. Councilman Jensen.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to authorize the mayor to sign the Form 50G for dugout bar.
Councilman Horner.
I'll second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
Item number 8, resolution 2026-085, authorizing a conditional use permit, allowing institutional residential for more than 8 occupants at 749 East 32nd. Staff report.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Jody Sanders, City Administrator, pinch hitting for Planning Director Jeff Ray, who is unable to be here this evening. This item has been requested by the applicant to continue the item until the May 12th City Council meeting.
I'll take a motion to, are we tabling it or are we just continuing it? Okay. To the May 12th meeting. Councilman Jensen.
I'll make the motion to continue resolution 2026-085 to the May 12th city council meeting.
Councilwoman Ganem.
I will second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
Item number 9, resolution 2026-087, approving a conditional use permit to allow an indoor recreation boxing/fitness club at 346 South Broad, Fremont, Dodge County, Nebraska. Staff?
Again, Jody Sanders for Jeff Ray. This is a request by Skip and Judy Sawyer for a conditional use permit to allow a boxing club fitness center in a LI Light Industrial District on property generally located at 346 South Broad Street, basically at the base of the Broad Street Viaduct on the south side. I believe the applicant is here if you have any questions.
Any questions from council? Or any comments? Councilwoman Ganem.
I just had a question for my own education. I think the project is a great project, and I know all buildings have to be ADA compliant, and I know one section of that just said, as a change of use in the parking lot shall be paved with an all-weather surface. So it doesn't have to be concrete. What's an all-weather surface then? Shouldn't it be concrete? I thought, maybe you can answer.
It is concrete, isn't it? It is concrete, isn't it? Yeah.
But say my name.
Yes.
Skip Sawyer, 1800 Phelps, Fremont. On the planning commission meeting, I think it was on Wednesday, I mentioned parking. By Monday, they started pouring. And they'll stripe the lines. We're already connected with the fire marshal for inspections. And we have 9 parking spots and 1 handicap, which is all that's been requested. We've done everything we need to do so far. It's concrete.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I didn't know what an all-weather surface
Well,
happened to be.
no, I'd rather have had my all-weather surface, which was crushed concrete.
Okay, thank you.
It would have been cheaper, but we've got
I
it
bet
done.
it would have been. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions from council? Okay, I'll open the public hearing on this. I'll close the public hearing and I'll take a motion in this. Councilman Horner.
I would make a motion that we approve resolution 2026-087, approving the conditional use permit to allow an indoor recreation facility at 346 South Broad Street.
Councilwoman Ganem.
I will second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
Item number 10, ordinance 5739, it changes zone from AG agricultural to LI light industrial on property generally located at PTTL 22, 2.4A, section 35-18-8. Staff?
Good evening, Jody Sanders, City Administrator for Jeff Ray. This is a request for a change of zone from agricultural to light industrial. And this particular property is adjacent to the, what do I want to say? The 275-77 Highway 30 interchange on North Broad Street. And this is in conformance with the comprehensive plan, and the adjacent property is already zoned light industrial. And during the zoning that was done recently, if there were areas that were not marked any other way, they automatically became agricultural in nature. And I think this is an example of that. Where in order to have the property become useful, we do need to have this zoning change. And I believe the applicant is here if there's any questions.
Okay, thank you. Any comments from council? Councilman Horner?
Do we know what the use is intended for? I'm just curious.
Good evening, David Mitchell, 81 West Fifth. We don't have a specific use at this juncture. Jack Larson, who's here for JKL LLC, they just want the property zoned consistently so that if an opportunity does arise, then we don't have to go through this particular step. And since you've got GC to the north, light industrial to the south, and highway on the east side, I believe when I spoke with Jeff, this was one of those cases where the property just slipped past the infield in the rezoning process and should have been zoned either GC or light industrial at the time the maps were updated. The only other thing I'd point out is I believe Jeff made a reference to possibly, this is the first reading, if the council would also consider suspending the rules and holding final reading on this, since this one should have actually been done in the first place. So we'd ask you to consider that. And I'll answer other questions that you might have.
More questions from council? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
If there's no more questions from council, I'll open the public hearing on this. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. And I'll take a motion on this item. Councilman Horner.
Yeah, I will make a motion that we approve a change of zone from AG to agriculture LI on the parcel in question.
Councilwoman Lathrop.
I will second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
We'll have the first reading.
Ordinance number 5739, ordinance of the city of Fremont, Nebraska, amending ordinance number 5730 as it pertains to the zoning map to rezone 2.48 acres as PT TL 20, section 35-18-8, Dodge County, Nebraska, from AG agriculture to LI light industrial, providing for repeal of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. First read.
Councilman Horner.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we suspend rules and move to third and final reading.
Councilman Jensen.
And I second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor. Ordinance number
Well, final reading, sorry.
Ordinance number 5739, ordinance of the city of Fremont, Nebraska, amending ordinance number 5730 as it pertains to the zoning map to rezone 2.48 acres as PT TL 20, section 35-18-8, Dodge County, Nebraska, from AG agriculture to LI light industrial, providing for repeal of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Final reading.
Thank you.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor. Ordinance number 5739 is approved.
Thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda, all items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless council member or staff so requests, in which the item will be removed from the council agenda and considered separately. Anything to be removed from the consent agenda? Councilman Horner.
Item number 22, please.
Councilwoman Ganem.
Item 13.
Anybody else? Okay. I'll take a motion for the consent agenda minus items 13 and 22. Councilman Jensen.
I'll make that a motion.
Councilman Vaughn.
I will second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
Item 13, motion to receive and file the fire department annual report.
Mayor, council, Todd Burns, Fire Chief. What you have in front of you is the 2025 annual report. I'll give you a brief overview of the year, and then afterwards, I'll be able to take any questions that you shall have. 2025 was our busiest year yet. We had 4,398 calls that last year. This is a 7.6% increase in call volume. This comes to about a little bit over 12 runs a day. EMS calls, it comes to a little bit over 11 runs a day and a little bit over 1 fire run a day. Our EMS response, we had 4,024 medical calls. This is an 8.43 increase in medical runs. These actually include 182 motor vehicle accidents, 31 advanced life support intercepts. Advanced life support intercepts is when we intercept with a lot of the volunteer departments that are basic life support. And if they're transporting a patient that needs additional advanced life support, they'll call for us. We'll respond with a couple people, one of them a paramedic. We'll meet them on the highway and we'll actually jump in the back of their ambulance and finish transport there to the hospital. We actually had an aircraft accident, a high angle rope incident too this last year. We had 4,102 patient contacts. This is a 7.21 increase in patient contacts. The average patient age was 61.14 years old. To give you sort of perspective on the average patient age, back in 2010, we had an average patient age of a little bit over 51 years old. What this is telling us that our community is just getting older as we move forward. The top emergencies this last year, falls. Falls is our biggest emergency with the elderly. We had 1,031 medical transport, 729 traffic accidents, 756. Those were our top three. Out of our patient contacts, 20% are advanced life support. That's starting IVs, giving medications, intubating patients. 51% are basic life support, and 29% are patient refusals where the patient ends up signing off and does not want to be transported to the hospital. 91.5% of our calls are EMS. That is the majority of our runs. We had no firefighters that were injured on any of the EMS related emergencies. Our fire response, we had 374. This is pretty much comparable to 2024. 2024, we had 375, so we were right even with that. March was the busiest month for fire calls with 51, but most of these actually came when we had the blizzard. The day of the blizzard and the 2 days following, we had 27 fire emergencies during those 3 days. Those are down power lines, carbon monoxide poisonings from generators. People run generators and carbon monoxide gets in the home. People starting fireplaces that have not been started in years. We had people starting grills in the home, trying to stay warm. That's when the power outage. And with power outage, we get a lot of fire alarm activations with a lot of area businesses. Not only did we have an increase in fire responses during that time, we also had a pretty big increase in our medical calls. During that 3 days, like I said, we had 27 fire emergencies. We had like 56 medical calls during that 3 days. And a lot of those, we did have people on home O2. Once the power goes out, those machines run off batteries and the batteries were going dead. And a lot of people were calling us, to have oxygen and stuff like that. We did have 31 fires requiring extinguishments, 9 structure fires, 8 vehicle fires, a cooking fire. We had 14 fires that were out on our arrival, but still needed to be investigated and still make sure there was no hot spots where we had any extension or anything like that. Fire losses for the year was a little bit over 1.6 million. Causes of fire, we had electrical, fireworks, cooking materials, equipment failure, operator error. Some of the other type of fire runs that we went over last year, we had 138 automatic fire alarms, 26 smoke odor investigations, 32 unauthorized burnings, and 37 hazardous material calls. We did have 3 civilian deaths, 2 civilian injuries, and no firefighters that were injured at any fire-related incidents. Those 3 civilian deaths were actually at the Horizon biofuel explosion. Some of the things that I'd like to talk about the Horizon biofuel was the response that we got. We had about 30 agencies that responded and assisted in some way or another. Majority of them were fire departments, but we had federal agencies, state, local, regional agencies there to help us. And not only that, we had a lot of our city departments there assisting us also. The police department, the county, Fremont County 911 center played a vital role in our operations, department utilities, and the street department. So I really, after that incident, I can't thank enough the response that we got. People responding and assisting us in some way. Training. we had 6,269 hours of documented training. This is an increase of a little bit over 45%. Some of the topics that we cover is our medical training, firefighting strategy tactics, rope rescue, grain bin rescue, trench rescue, ice rescue, and a lot of various firefighting activities. Callbacks. This last year, we had 103 callbacks, and compare that to 2024, that is a little bit over a 58% decrease. Compare that to 2023, which was our highest level, where we had 322 callbacks. This is a little bit over a 68% decrease in our callbacks from that year. I'll talk here a little bit about our response times. I'll talk about two different types of response times. There's turnout time and travel time. Turnout time is from the time we receive the alarm and time we go en route. And travel times when we go en route and actually get on location. And the National Fire Protection Association actually have some benchmarks for that. For fire calls, the turnout time is 80 seconds, and the travel time is 4 minutes. And that is not less than 90% of the time. So 90% of the time, we need to be really at that level. For EMS calls, the benchmark is 60 seconds for turnout times, and then 4-minute travel time, not less than 90% of the time. Our 90 percentile turnout time for fire calls is 3 minutes and 38 seconds. And we actually met this turnout time for fire calls a little bit over 15% of the time. Our 90 percentile travel time is 5 minutes and 53 seconds. We actually met this travel time almost 68% of the time for fire calls. Our in-town EMS calls, our 90 percentile turnout time was 2 minutes and 56 seconds. We actually met this turnout time 6.74% of the time. And the travel time, our 90 percentile travel time is 5 minutes, right on the nose. And we met this travel time almost 77% of the time. So 77% of the time we met that travel time of 4 minutes. So I'll give you some updates on what's going on. We're currently working on some final renderings of the second station. I'm hoping that sometime in the next 2 or 3 city council meetings, our architect will be here, present some renderings for you. We'll be receiving a new ambulance, hopefully within the next couple weeks. Our new engine, we should be receiving that by May, June timeframe. And just to give you a way we are, an outlook for 2026, where we are right now. If our current volume stays where it is right now, we're looking at an 8 to 10% increase in call volume this year. That's if, I know there's a lot of year left, but we're 1 quarter into the year, and if it stays the same, we're looking at 8 to 10% increase in our call volume. That's all I have for you. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Councilman Horner?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief. We appreciate the information. You know, it seems like each year that we get these, you know, if you look on page 13, there's always a somewhat familiar pattern in calls. We usually have 3 kind of standout areas in terms of numbers. Are the ones that are showing up this year pretty typical? You've got an 899, a 629, and a 385. And it's on, I think I gave you the right page number. Let me just double check.
But is that in a
it's on
chart?
page- It's on page 13 of your report. Oh, never mind. They're all page 13.
That's the
That-
item
that's
number.
the
It's
item
the
number in the
2025 fire / EMS emergencies by section of city. It's the
Oh,
bar
okay.
chart. It's that bar chart.
Years ago, Reynolds never used to be, the top one. It used to be the Linden area on the map. Really over the last few years, that Reynolds area has increased, and a lot of it is with the nursing homes, the over 50 apartments going in that area. And that is the big reason why we're starting to get calls to that area. There was used to be, it switched. Linden and Reynolds Linden was one, Reynolds was two, and just over the last few years, that actually switched.
Can you say just in general what the nature of most of those calls are? Are they falls? Are they a mix?
To the nursing homes, it's a medical emergency. To that area, it's mostly medical emergencies.
All right, thank you.
Councilwoman Ganem?
No, I wanted you to highlight it because I certainly want to extend a thank you on behalf of everyone in our city, because we put our lives in your hands. And I wouldn't hesitate putting my life in any fireman's hands. And especially EMS, the training is so intense and so comprehensive. You guys do a great job, and it was an opportunity to highlight our fire department tonight. So thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Councilman Vaughn?
Yeah, I think we've kind of charted our course for where we're going with the fire department and EMS and future locations and things like that. Looking at this, the graph and the map makes me wonder if we shouldn't have put some more consideration into a satellite EMS location to the north of town, where it seemed very disproportionate to where the number of calls are.
And a lot of that area is in our 4-minute response time. So anytime North Reynolds, it's in our response time, 4 minutes. We map them out. I know we did a feasibility study a few years ago, and they mapped out what a 4 minutes, and we mapped out the 4 minutes to where the satellite station goes. And there's going to be just a little bit overlap between the two, which we want. And so I think the satellite station is a good place for where it is right now.
Appreciate the due diligence and the reminder.
Councilman Horner?
Oh,
Okay. Anybody else? Thank you, Chief.
Hey, you're welcome.
Thank you for the report. I'll take comments from the public. Seeing none, I'll take a motion on this. Councilman Vaughn,
Motion to receive.
Councilman Jensen,
And I second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
thank you. Item number 22, resolution 2026-074, authorizing the mayor to sign the contract for the 19th Street asphalt overlay project in the amount of $273,405.80 with Hawkins Construction. Staff?
Mayor, City Council, this is Dan Gillis, Director of Public Works. Thanks for your time. This project is a budgeted project to resurface the road from 19th Street to Nye Avenue with a asphalt overlay. Excuse me, 19th Street from Nye Avenue to Somers Avenue. This is sort of your standard asphalt overlay, so it takes care of removal of and replacement of asphalt, an existing asphalt overlay, concrete repairs as needed, drainage improvements, curbs, ramps, adjusting manholes and valve boxes, seeding and erosion control. Good news stories, we got 7 bids, so that's, I think, good. We're starting to see more bidders on our pavement projects, so that's great. Bids range from 273,000 and some change to 408,000. So the lowest bidder was found to be the most reasonable, and that's Hawkins Construction. And so they're the ones that we're recommending for award for this project right now.
Questions from council? Councilman Horner?
thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Dan. We appreciate it. The reason I pulled this one off is I am wondering, are we doing the section from Broad to Nye on 19th in a separate deal, still in the 1 year?
So yeah, I understand, there was some discussion about that on the 1 and 6 plan. Thanks for your email, sort of notifying me of that. So yeah, we do need to look at that. That is, an area that has gotten our attention, but we wanted to move forward with this section of, pavement because to the west of Nye Avenue is all asphalt. So that is a straightforward, pretty much asphalt, overlay, redo there. The section of road that you're talking about to the east over from Nye to Broad is currently concrete. And if the concrete were in okay shape, we might be comfortable doing just an asphalt overlay there. But in the current condition that it's in, it makes us wonder if the subgrade is even good enough to support an asphalt overlay. The important part of an asphalt overlay is that the sub base of the concrete below it is in good condition. Otherwise, you'll just sort of waste your money on that overlay. It won't last very long. So the thought on the section of road that you're talking about is that we need to do some more analysis on it. We probably need to do some core samples. We probably need to do a full design on that and then determine whether an asphalt overlay is feasible there or if we need to do a complete reconstruction. So that's where we are with that. We just need to do some more analysis.
Well, my concern is significant on this one because we voted on September the 9th, I believe, to have that added and to the 1 and 6 and to be included with this portion that was going to be done. Now, I get it if we've got an issue with needing to break it up, but you know, I really don't want to see that kicked down the road very far because I get calls on this section of road all the time. And I field those, and what I've been telling everybody is, oh, last September, we voted to put it on the 1-year plan of the 1 and 6.
Right.
And I had a constituent call me and he's listening on the radio and he goes, oh, I hear we're paving 19th from Summers back to Nye, and we're not going to Broad. So, you know, that caught me a little short, obviously, but I mean, we voted to put it on there. I feel very strongly that we need to make sure that gets done.
Yeah, I totally understand. I think initially that was the intention. And then I think a closer look at that section of road really started to question some of that sub base and actually even the thickness of the current concrete. So they've seen some concrete as thin as 4 to 6 inches in some areas. And so that's just not strong enough to support an overlay. So if it were all asphalt, we could definitely, I think, consider that as one project, but considering that it's concrete, we want to do that as separate projects. But I wouldn't say we're not doing it. I'm just suggesting that it's taking a little bit longer because we need to do some more analysis and get a design going for that section.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit because I know
Sure.
a number of people are watching.
Great.
So do you have any thoughts on when they might see a little bit of activity out there, taking core samples, et cetera, to start making your plans and your preparations?
I would say on the spot, we have to make sure we have the budget for it. That's a moving target, as you all know. And so we do have some overages that we have to try and figure out, as we talked about last week or last council meeting. And as other projects come in, over or under, we'll keep an eye on that. But I think that our intention might be to get a design going this year, and that would include the core samples. So when that might happen, probably this summer or fall, and then possibly actual work maybe next construction season.
All right. Thank you.
Any more questions from council? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take any comments from the public. See none, I'll take a motion. Councilman Vaughn,
I'll make the motion to approve.
Councilwoman Lathrop,
I'll second.
That motion carries 6 yeas, 1 nay, Mayor.
thank you. Okay, on to new business. Item 32, resolution 2026-076, authorizing the mayor to sign a contract with JMN Construction LLC in the amount of $2 million, $508,584.43 for the North Broad Street Viaduct Rehabilitation Project. Staff?
Mayor, City Council, Dan Gillis, Director of Public Works, thanks again for your time. So this is the project to rehabilitate the North Broad Street Viaduct. It's approximately a 30-year-old structure and in need of some repairs here. The March 24 bridge inspection revealed several findings, some of which to include cracking and some spalling on the deck of that's the road surface. Shifting of the deck slightly to the west, joints in poor condition, corroded girder at the southwest and northeast corners, stressed anchor bolts, and some areas of washed out slope protection. So we went out for bid for this project. We did receive 4 bids, and they ranged from $2.5 million to about $3.5 million. JMN Construction was the lowest bid, and our consultant, Spies Lewis, which is a Bowden company, has recommended that we go with award to JMN Construction at this time.
Any questions from council? Councilman Vaughn?
State the obvious, that thing is in terrible shape. Any concerns?
No, these things are robust. And so I actually had the same idea when I read the report and wondered, why are we still driving on this thing? But they're very robust. And so it takes a lot for these things to become structurally concerning. So even with the findings that we've pointed out here, some of these ratings are still in the acceptable range. Well, they're all in the acceptable or above range. I've got a report here and some pictures and whatnot. But there is such a safety factor built into these things. So no concerns right now.
Any other questions from council? Councilman Peterson?
Yeah, hi, Dan. Just a question, being in tough shape and so forth. I mean, this is getting all the weight, the hog trucks, this truck, that truck. Obviously, it's north of Fremont. I'm thinking, gosh, no wonder we're beating up Broad Street. If those big guys, if they're tearing that viaduct to pieces, and that's probably a heavier specifications, and we're running on Broad Street, no wonder it's tearing up Broad Street. Just a comment, but I just thought, I just want to make sure that when we do this $2.5 million that we are going by, and a dumb question, because this is what you do, but make sure we are up to specs and we are making sure this is built to last for $2.5 million. So hopefully we can buy another 10 or 15, or I don't know what the lifespan is of a viaduct is. You would know that. I don't.
Well,
Anybody's guess, right, Dan?
I appreciate the vote of confidence. So yeah, so it was built actually, because at the time it was a US highway. So it was built to US highway standards at the time. And the same thing with Broad Street actually. So they were both built to sort of withstand lots of wear and tear and heavy loads. The state does limit weights per, type of road conditions. So the state does dictate designs to meet certain loads that they also then limit by regulations. So yes, I'm confident that the design that we're getting from Spies Lewis is going to be adequate to take us another long duration. Now, anything that's man-made does require maintenance. And so, as I'm sort of getting my feet underneath me here, I'm learning a little bit more about our bridge program and bridge maintenance and what our routines are there. And I understand we do a biannual inspection on all bridges. And so this has been monitored even by the state. It's a regulated inspection. And so the state regulates this and monitors these things as well. So this money that we got here for this project is part of that relinquishment from the state. And so they paid $3.4 million, and they estimated that in 2022. And so between Broad Street resurfacing and this project coming in a little bit over that budget, we'll go back to the state and ask for consideration of those higher fees. But the fact that they were actually so close in a 3-year time span is pretty good, considering the wild sways of escalation, cost escalation in the environment that we've been in.
Councilman Horner?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, would you care to venture to clue us in on, are we doing it one side at a time? Are we taking it out of service? Kind of what are we doing?
Yeah, great question. We're going to do one side at a time. So we think trucks will be limited during this time. I suspect the folks on Broad Street will appreciate that. So I think during this time, we'll see a reprieve from the semis. But yeah, we'll do one side at a time. That way the traffic can keep flowing. It'll take the project a little longer to do, which is a natural course of that. But yeah.
All right, thank you.
Any more questions from council? We'll take comments from the public. Seeing none, I'll take a motion. Councilman Horner.
I will make the motion to approve resolution 2026-076, authorizing the mayor to sign the contract with JMN Construction LLC.
Councilman Jensen.
I will second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
Thank you. Item number 33, Council Member Peterson's item, consider approval of full waiver of facility and rental fees for Christensen Arena kitchen and meeting room for April of 2026.
Let me just speak from here.
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for letting me have the time to do this. I was made aware of the situation. My kids are all grown up, so I don't have anybody going to prom or post-prom or anything like that. No grandkids in high school and so forth. So I have no skin in the game here. However, I am a lifelong Fremont resident and I enjoy the quality of life we have here. And part of it is I think we really take a good look out for our kids. And so for years, the post-prom, which when my kids were there, I served from the midnight to 4 shift. That's a big shift, let me tell you. But it's fun to do. It's great to see what the kids are doing. And the benefit is this, because we didn't have this back in my day. I mean, covered wagons and all that stuff. But we had, now it was nice to see the kids enjoying each other, socializing, having a great time. And from midnight to 4, and listen, if you have kids, nothing good happens between midnight and 4 if they're on the street or anywhere else. So it's a good, safe environment for them. And the nice thing is too, it's all volunteer run. The city doesn't sponsor this. The school system doesn't sponsor this. There's no, so the volunteers themselves go out and raise the money and they have like a casino night. And like I said, I've done it, I've worked it. But the thing about volunteers is we have a couple things going on at the same time. Volunteers are becoming in short supply, and also money's coming in short supply. And so not everybody can just fork over money for this and that. We get these beautiful grants for streets and improvements, and that's wonderful. And God bless everybody that does that stuff. But for years, Christensen Field, we did it for free one time for this and this only. Last year, I think it was $650, which was a big jump. And then now they're talking $1,600. And I just thought, I heard that, I was stunned, honestly. And so I just thought, just for a one day out of 365, we could waive it because it's the right thing to do for our kids. And think of this, Bergen and Fremont do this together. It's collaboration, which I love collaboration. They could say, well, Bergen's going to do one, Fremont's going to do one. No, they're going to do it together. And there's no fundraising. It isn't a matter of that at all. If somebody wants to have a pie supper out there and raise money to send their missionaries to whoever, yeah, that's fine. And you're going to have to pay the rent and shop around. But this is something I think we can do for our kids. One day a year, there's nothing like it. Nobody profits from it. And I just think I know things cost more and I know the city's under the gun financially, but I just think, gosh, if we can't do this one thing for our kids, I just think for me, it's a quality of life issue. We're a Class A city. And I think this is what Class A cities do. We take care of our kids. And I've got Jenny Kiefer here tonight. She's the one that made me aware of all this. And I know she doesn't like to do public speaking, but if you have questions, maybe you'd want to, if you want to say you'd answer a question, because maybe some of my colleagues on the council would have a question. Maybe they don't. Maybe they think waiving it's a good idea. So I'll stop talking, but I've said my piece. And I just want you all to consider, we were all kids once and had kids. And it's like, let's not make, I don't want to charge the kids admission. Let's make it And by the way, I've talked to the superintendent of schools and the assistant, and they're all for this, but again, nobody profits from this. Nobody profits from this. And, you know, Jenny and team, however big that is, they're gonna make this all happen. So I hope we're, you know, we should be grateful for that. So, at any rate, I'll be quiet. Jenny, if anybody has a question, I guess, is that
Councilman
okay?
Horner?
Can you do that?
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
I got a couple of them, but the first one is, can you clarify whether or not there were covered wagons in your past? You said there may have been covered wagons. I was just wondering if you were riding those to school.
Just one day. Just one day.
No, just to support Councilmember Peterson. Yeah, the $1,600, I'm a little bit shocked, and I know there's been some others that have come to us and we've said no, but this is the schools. I think this is different. And I could certainly support going back to the fee we did last year. I don't know that I would prefer to see it free, but I could certainly support going back to the one from last year, and I guess I'd like to hear what others think.
Councilman Jensen?
Yeah, I thought something else that hasn't been touched on here yet. I think the police department are all in on this too. Am I correct in understanding that they're very supportive of this?
They want the kids off the streets from midnight to 4. Yeah.
The only other thing I would add to that, I would like to see it supported. I'd like to see it completely waived. But if we have the other schools, if this new Catholic or new Lutheran high school wants to join in, if any of them others, it's all inclusive. It's a full collaboration of everybody. We're not going to do the same thing for 4 different, where you do one for
One shot
one
deal.
and one, and that's it. One and done.
One and done.
Jeff, did you have more?
You know, I just,
Your speaker still.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Councilwoman Ganem?
no, just to give some background history a little bit. Everyone was coming to us and all the nonprofit organizations and school groups asking city council to waive this and to waive that. And we gave directions to the parks and recreation. We gave them direction and saying we need to be consistent with all groups. And so we developed a recommendation for them to follow so that they're not paying full price, but organizations that are nonprofit pay a different rate, but some to cover our own costs rather than leaning on the taxpayers to subsidize. Does that make sense?
Well, and I get what you're saying, but this is different. This isn't even a nonprofit. This is a unique situation. That's why I kind of get the one and done. I mean, when somebody says, you know, like Councilman Jensen said, we talked and he said, well, I was told it was going to be half price. Yeah, half price is 1,600. I mean, what is this, NFL? So I thought, no, no, that's not right. So, I mean, I appreciate what you're saying, and I'm not trying to give away the farm. This is, again, one night, one time for the kid. It isn't even for the schools. It's for the kids. The kids benefit from this. The students benefit from this. And 1,600 is a non-starter. I will just tell you right now, it's a forget it. I mean, you might as well ask for 6,000 because it isn't going to happen. So I mean, 650 would be a stretch. But I understand we got to negotiate, okay? But I just 1,600 that's fine. I guess you can wait for Aerosmith to show up because the Fremont High is not going to have kids there at $1,600.
Councilman Vaughn?
Yeah, I remember going to one of these and it kept me out of trouble for at least a portion of the night. I also have a son who will be in high school next year, and I agree, a first-class city should take care of its kids, and I'd be in full support of waiving the entirety of the fee.
City Administrator?
You have any comments? Mayor should
Hold
do that.
on.
I'm sorry.
I was just going to point out that the fee that was last year was the amount of the cleaning fee of 650. The cleaning fee now is 675, just FYI. And I appreciate Councilmember Ganem's comments because staff was doing what they were instructed to do by having the park board review it and agree to the half price. The idea of this is of this being a one night, one time, all of that. It's a 3-day event that is blocking out the use of Christensen Field for the entire weekend. And you know, if you're concerned about $1,600, so $3,200 is what the fee would be if we were to collect from somebody that was using the facilities for that period of time ordinarily. So I'm just trying to make you aware of what you're foregoing with the choice, and it is entirely your choice. It could be, if you're interested, that to do something that along the lines of whatever the cleaning fee is. Obviously, we're not going to pay $1,600 for a cleaning fee next year, but it would perhaps simplify the process.
Councilman Jensen.
I guess I would have staff, you say this is a 3-day event, it blocks it out. How many weekends a year is there something going on there? I mean, is this taking somebody off of the table?
I can't say for sure because they've requested that weekend in advance, and it is a first come, first serve. But this time of year, it does get very busy.
Councilman Peterson, did you have something?
Well, I just think, good question, Councilman Jensen. That's a very good question. And I just think we can price ourselves out of the market, and now we have a new venue on the docket. So be careful, because I know there's some places that we've said no to that no longer come to Fremont at all. And so be careful what you ask for. You might get it. You might get a big goose egg, and it'll just sit there collecting dust. And I understand that these nice volunteers clean the building, and in her words, better than how we found it. Okay. So, you know, the cleaning fee, we charge that. If somebody wants to get paid $6.25 to go like this, you know, because it's going to be pretty darn clean when they're all done. So anyway, I'll revert back to the mayor, but if you'd like to ask Jenny some questions.
Yep, Councilwoman Ganem, I still have people in the queue.
No, just a thought, because I have a hard time then knowing which group to say no to. And I mean, no, that come and ask for waivers. And so it makes it difficult because some of them do things for our kids, and it is for our kids. So whether they're some are nonprofit, obviously, and this is not a nonprofit. Of course, I had a son who begged me not to go to prom to supervise. So it's pretty different for me, but I always have contributed certainly for that night. And it is a great event. It keeps the kids occupied. It gives them something to do. And we have set a precedent from last year. And I would certainly support that precedent that we've set.
Councilman Horner.
Yeah, Mayor, I'm not really going to talk. I'm just going to point out that we've got somebody sitting right here, and I'd love to hear from her. So if there aren't any other council members that want to speak that haven't spoke already, then I'd really love to hear from her.
Go to public comment.
I'm Jenny Kiefer, address 1228 North Nye Street, Fremont, Nebraska.
It's on.
I just need to be louder. I'm not told that very often. As Jeff has pointed out, we're getting lower and lower and harder to come by volunteers, and it is strictly a volunteer process. We've made it a mission for our post-prom committee that we will not charge students a fee to enter. We just don't want any kids being excluded for lack of ability to pay. I feel now for this generation, it's more important than ever to offer any kind of social interaction that we can give them. I think it's very, very important. And we always have a great turnout. We usually have around 300 students that show up, they engage, they stay through the whole evening. Rarely do we have any instances of issues or problems that arise. And as Jeff has also pointed out, we do leave the place cleaner than we find it. Last year, for instance, we paid the $650 and we didn't even have hand soap. We had to go buy hand soap because the dispensers weren't even full. So as we've mentioned, we're not there to raise money. We're not there to do anything that brings in any money for any kind of cause of any kind. We're there to offer something for our youth, kind of a milestone rite of passage. It's something that has touched almost every member of this community, every taxpayer. You've either been to post-prom, will go to post-prom, have children that have gone or will go, or grandkids or nieces, nephews, whatnot. As I said, we have usually about 300 students that show up. Funds have come down significantly over the past couple of years that people are willing to donate. Part of the issue is not getting enough volunteers to where we have less people pounding the pavement to go out and ask for donations. I don't have the specific numbers in front of me. I got started in this just to decorate, and now I'm fundraising and sitting in front of city council. So I don't have the specific numbers in front of me. I would have to contact the one other person I have helping me right now. But from my understanding is we are down $9,000 this year from where we should be. And as of up until yesterday, we were $5,000 short of where we really need to be. I was able to bring in about $2,300 yesterday from making phone calls, doing my own little mini telethon. So we're trying. I think it's very important. I guess I'm open to any other questions you might have.
Any questions from council? Councilwoman Lathrop?
Not a question so much, but I too want to thank you for all of your efforts in organizing all of this because it is an enormous undertaking. I have helped with that probably 5 different times, and it's a wow. There's just a lot that goes into that with all the entertainment, the food, the decorating, the cleanup, everything. So I just want to thank you for all of your efforts.
I also would like to add too, we do need to keep this at a caliber that will entice students to want to come. I mean, it takes 1 year of it not really going so well and you lose them. So, you know, and with that definitely comes expenses. And we get a lot of, we try very hard to get as many discounts or donations as we can, but they only go so far. And so this is something that, I mean, it, in all actuality, really doesn't cost the community. We're not asking for money from the city. We're just asking to be able to use the facility for no cost, which is what has been done for decades up until last year.
Councilman Jensen?
Yeah, I'd like to join Council Lathrop in thanking you also. And I just wanted to state publicly to any of our businesses in town or even some of our new businesses in town, this would be something really make some, get some good karma going for you if you can find some way to support this.
I try very hard with the funds that we do have to support back the companies and the small businesses in town that do donate. It means a lot. And it is the small businesses that support this and really hold it up.
Councilwoman Ganem?
No, I would echo the thanks for all your time, work, and effort that you certainly put in for our kids.
One more point I did want to make too is it is kind of a marketing thing for the city in a way, because you get a lot of students who are, you know, 17, 18 years old, could possibly be getting married in the next 5, 6, whatever years. They get to see this venue all decorated up to see what it could be for a potential wedding reception in the future. They also get to see some of the other rooms or ideas, especially the parents that are volunteering that night, to see some of the other rooms that are available there at Christensen Field to possibly be hosting graduation parties. So it is a marketing event as well.
Any other questions? Thank you. Councilman Vaughn?
If no other comments, I would make a motion to approve Councilmember Peterson's item and approve a full waiver.
I got a motion by Vaughn, second by Councilman Jensen.
Second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, item number 34, ordinance 5735 regarding the sale of city property located in Saunders County to Kevin and Lori Yount in the amount of $1 million. Staff?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Jody Sanders, City Administrator. The city had identified this as a property that wasn't really suitable for any other use for the city, so we decided to put it up for auction. The auction was held in March and was preliminarily sold to the Younts for $12,500 per acre. conditional upon city council approval, of course. There will be a 3-week period where we have to advertise the sale, and then following that, this is a 30-day remonstrance period. In order to get that time period started more quickly, we are requesting that after holding first reading, the council consider the request to suspend the rules and hold a final reading so that we can get started on that publication period. And I'll take any questions.
Questions for staff? Councilman Horner.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Jody. Not so much a question because I really don't expect you to have this answer, but I just wanted to point out it's $1 million. I don't know that there's going to be $1 million coming into the city's bank account because you do have closing costs and things like that associated with the sale. And do you have any feel for roughly how much that might be coming into the city net? Just off the top of your head? And
Actually, I don't have the math off the top of my head. I will remind the council that the auctioneer takes a percentage. I'm thinking that it's 5%.
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, just want to make sure that we weren't sitting up here spending $1 million.
We needed that $1 million to close the budget gap last year. So this is a one-time save for the city's budget.
You bet.
Councilwoman Lathrop.
Jody, can you just speak to the fact that it's 12,500 per acre instead of a higher premium? Because this is not all farmland. Can you just make that public, please?
Sure. So it is, the total is 80 acres, but approximately half of it is not farmable ground. It is an area that has, I believe, a ravine going through it. And then we have seen deer stands down there, frankly, where it's actually, some folks have been using it as a, not authorized, but nonetheless, there have been some deer stands and whatnot down there. So there are some that are using it for recreational purposes. I understand the Yants were mostly, though, concerned about their property is just adjacent to that. And we're interested in making sure that, you know, they didn't disturb new neighbors with their business. Mm-hmm.
More comments from council? Councilman Jensen.
Just to state for public, this is some of the things we've asked city to do, was to remove some of these properties that are sitting around that aren't doing us anything, get them off this, and I think the next 3 are pump houses. This is stuff we asked staff to do to liquidate these things for the citizens.
Any more comments from council? Not, I'll take a motion. Councilman Vaughn.
Motion to approve.
Councilman Jensen.
And I'll second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
Thank you. Item 35, ordinance 57. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's my favorite thing.
It's blending in.
Ordinance number 5735, an ordinance pertaining to the sale and conveyance of real estate owned by the city of Fremont, Nebraska, to Kevin and Lori Yount pursuant to Nebraska law, first read.
Okay, Councilman Horner.
Yeah, I would move that we suspend the rules and hold third and final reading.
Councilman Vaughn.
I will second.
That motion carries, Mayor, 7-0. Ordinance number 5735, an ordinance pertaining to the sale and conveyance of real estate owned by the city of Fremont, Nebraska, to Kevin and Lori Yount pursuant to Nebraska law, final read.
Cast your final vote.
That motion carries 7-0. Ordinance number 5735 is approved.
Okay. Item number. Item 35, ordinance 5736 regarding the sale of property parcel ID 20701-36118 to Seth Coates in the amount of $4,100. Staff report.
Mayor, City Council, Jeff Shanahan, Utility Manager. We're asking to bring money in instead of asking to spend it today. But, this is nice. We had the same auction, same rules apply that Jody had. So, this is the one on 11th and H. And we're asking also that you approve this and waive the rules and move it to third reading.
Any questions from council? If not, I'll take a motion. Councilman Horner?
Yes, I will make a motion that we approve ordinance 5736 regarding sale of city property parcel ID 270136118.
Councilwoman Gannon?
I second.
Ordinance number 5736, an ordinance pertaining to the sale and conveyance of real estate owned by the city of Fremont, Nebraska to Seth Coates pursuant to Nebraska law. First read.
Councilman Jensen?
I'll make the motion to suspend the rules and move ordinance 5736 to the third and final reading at this time.
Councilman Vaughn? Second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor. Ordinance number 5736, an ordinance pertaining to the sale and conveyance of real estate owned by the city of Fremont, Nebraska to Seth Coates pursuant to Nebraska law. Final read.
Cast your final vote.
I don't want to break any rules here. So I just noticed that one didn't have a price tag. Give it to him, or I'm sorry, Vic Rader, that was one. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor. Ordinance number 5736 is approved.
Thank you. Item number 36, ordinance 5737 regarding the sale of city property parcel ID 270136131 to Victor Rader. Staff report.
Mayor, City Council, Jeff Shanahan, Utility Manager. This is the lot on 9th and C, being sold to Vic Rader. Same rules apply as the previous two sales. Sale price on this one was $38,000. So we ask for approval of this and move it to third reading.
Any questions from council? If not, I'll take a motion. Councilwoman Ganem?
I move the recommendation to approve ordinance 5737 regarding the sale of city property parcel ID 270136131 to Victor Rader.
Councilman Jensen?
I will second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor. Ordinance number 5737, an ordinance pertaining to the sale and conveyance of real estate owned by the city of Fremont, Nebraska to Victor Rader pursuant to Nebraska law. First read.
Councilman Jensen?
I'll make the motion to suspend the rules and take ordinance 5737 to third and final reading at this time.
Councilman Marsh?
I'll second that.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
Cast your final vote.
Oh, I gotta read it one time.
Oh, you gotta read one.
Yeah, sorry. Ordinance number 5737, an ordinance pertaining to the sale and conveyance of real estate owned by the city of Fremont, Nebraska to Victor Rader pursuant to Nebraska law, final read.
I'll cast your final vote.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor. Ordinance number 5737 is approved.
Thank you. Item number 37, ordinance 5738 regarding the sale of city property located at the corner of Ninth and Luther Road to William Chamberlain, in the amount of $11,000. Staff report.
Mayor, City Council, Jeff Shanahan, again, the same rules apply. This is property on Ninth and Luther Road and to William Chamberlain for $11,000, and we're asking that you approve and waive the rules and go to third reading.
Any questions from council? If not, I'll take a motion. Councilman Horner.
Yeah, if nobody has any questions, I would like to make a motion on ordinance number 5738, approving the sale of the lot located at the corner of Ninth and Luther to William Chamberlain.
Councilwoman Ganem.
Second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor. Ordinance number 5738, an ordinance pertaining to the sale and conveyance of real estate owned by the city of Fremont, Nebraska to William Chamberlain pursuant to Nebraska law, first read.
Councilman Horner.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion that we suspend rules on ordinance number 5738 and move it to for our third and final reading.
Councilman Vaughn.
Second.
Vaughn. All right.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor. Ordinance number 5738, an ordinance pertaining to the sale and conveyance of real estate owned by the city of Fremont, Nebraska to William Chamberlain pursuant to Nebraska law, final reading.
Cast your final vote.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor. Ordinance number 5738 is approved.
Take a motion to adjourn. Councilman Jensen.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Councilwoman Ganem.
Second.
That motion carries 7-0, Mayor.
All right, we adjourn. Not on sale.